No, Mom made something called galladay. I'm not sure how it was made. It was with a gelatin. It was with the hog heads and with the ears and stuff.
That's the skull where the brains are at.
Oh, so I understand you was eating something.
Yeah, don't tell me what.
Okay, if you'll stir, I'll put the stuff in it.
You want me to show you?
Sure, that was...
That's a little bit of pig brains right there.
It's almost like caviar. Delicious.
It's really good. A little salt on it would probably make it better. Now that I've licked my fingers, I'll wash my hands off.
You didn't try none?
No.
So, let's start a new process here. Earlier we put all the water in here. Salt, pepper. What all did we put in there?
Salt, pepper, sage.
Sage. Now I'm going to start putting cornmeal in there. Some of the most fussing that I saw my mother and father do is over this right here. Dad would stir and Mom would gently put this in here and he'd tell her to hurry up and just pour it in. And she'd say, no, you don't just pour it in, because if you don't put it in slowly, it will clot up and be lumpy. And they would get into fusses about it. And she would blame him for not stirring hard enough or putting the cornmeal and the flour in too fast. But I'm just not sure. The last time that we did this, we did get it lumpy, but we kept stirring it and kept boiling it, and that lumpiness all went away. And so Nathan is doing a good job stirring there, and I'm just keep adding. Right now I've just got cornmeal. It is a little bit of a guessing thing. They really did not have much of a measurement. They did recommend 60% whole wheat flour and 40% cornmeal. And so that's about what we have here. We're just going to guess at it. One of the important things is to just keep boiling this until all this cornmeal and flour is hydrated. It is important for it to get hydrated. You don't want to take it out unless that it is thoroughly cooked and hydrated, because after you take it out of here, it will no longer hydrate. So there was, in that batch, I put 3 pounds of cornmeal so far. And now then I'm going to get the whole wheat flour here that Holly has brought down. And take the tie off of it. And now this is much finer, much easier to lump than the cornmeal is. I'm going to roll the top down a little bit here. Brother Pete just showed up. Now let me tell you, he's an expert at making this scrapple. If he will come along and advise us with this, he has made lots of good scrapple.
We've been told what an expert is too many times.
Well, we won't go there today. So this is the whole wheat flour, basically doing the same thing. If we could actually see down in that steam, you can see how it's already, how that water is already thickening up. But you can see there's also some lumps floating in there, which Mom would have been very upset about. But we seem to find if you keep stirring and keep boiling, that those lumps all go away. But Mom was adamant about it, that if it gets lumpy, it's been put in there too fast. Not sure about that, but she stood on it pretty hard.
That looks like dark meat chicken.
I like them white fried.
4 maybe.
Pete, come over and tell us what we're doing wrong or right. Pete is a little camera shy, but
I told you I'm no expert in making that scrapple. I don't know.
yes, you are.
I know one thing, you need a lot more. It's got to get a lot thicker.
It's got to get a lot thicker, but you know, I'm trying to go slow, like Mom said, not to get it lumpy, you know.
So what kind of texture is this going to be? A solid, a liquid, or what we did make?
A very what would you say? It's going to be a very thick gravy.
Yeah.
like a very thick gravy, so thick that you can't hardly pour it. And then when we put it in these pans, it will gel up like a cake, like what? Meatloaf. Like meatloaf. Yep. It will gel up because of the gelatin in it, the natural gelatin from all this here. It will gel up like that. And then you cut a square out of it, and you cut it in thin slices about 1/4 to 5/16 inch thick, and you lay it in a skillet. And because of the fat, generally you don't have to add much lard or cooking vegetable oil to it. It will fry and brown without adding any of that to it, and just an absolutely delicious breakfast dish. Basically a flour cornmeal dish flavored with meat.
So it's very similar to fried corn mush.
Very similar to fried corn.
Anything about fried corn mush? Like a lot of the old timers used to, from our background, they would take and cook corn mush till it got thick, and then he would slice it, just very similar. You do this scrapple and fry it. I really like fried corn mush, but we haven't done any of that.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we could use that same water and only put cornmeal in it, and it's like corn mush. Yeah, both very delicious. And again, the only meat about it, there is no meat in it. It's just the water is flavored with the meat. And the fish that they caught, if they had to count on that, starvation would have started today.
Just trying to figure out where I can get a finger in here. It's not cooked as thoroughly as it.
You're right, and I like not to cook it as thoroughly. That way you don't have all those teeth and so much gnurple falling off of it. It just makes a more wholesome liverwurst, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's why I was watching it close to make sure that it did not get overcooked.
I think I'm going to quit with that one.
You are doing a fantastic job. I can only think of one thing that would make it better. An electric motor. But you are just about as consistent as an electric motor. I don't think it's thick enough yet.
I don't know if Mark explained it or not, but you don't want any tiny bones in this meat. You have to be very careful, because when you drop that meat in the grinder and go to grinding, if there's teeth or whatever in there, it can break the grinder blade. So that's why we're being so handsy with it and mashing it and making sure. See right there, I find the hard little bit. It's really important to get everything out you can. And even then, even when you go and do the best you can, you'll still find a few fragments in the grinder when you get done that didn't go through it. But what happens is they'll be in there, and that auger keeps trying and trying, and finally it'll try to get one wedged into the grinder, and it'll break the blade.
Okay, if I can interrupt a second, can you go after a rubber scraper real quick? Is it getting like real heavy, real?
Not real.
I want to feel it. I want to feel it. No, we need more. Not thick enough. Need to add more. Okay. She can.
Where'd you get that scraper? I thought you sent her.
Nathan, can you come back so I can add more stuff? Pete thinks like I do. It's not quite enough. And this was always just a guessing thing. Really, I mean, there's just really not a recipe that you can say, well, you know, you're going to pour so much of this in, so much of that. Just a guessing thing, how thick that it gets. And right now I'm going to add a little more cornmeal, because Pete and I both think that it's not quite thick enough. Because the way it's boiling, it's going to be pretty well hydrated, what we've got so far. And here just a little bit, we're going to start taste testing it. See how everybody feels like that the salt and pepper is in it. If it's enough or needs a little more, that kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to grab that flour again and put just a little bit more flour in it.
start getting a little thick.
Getting a little thicker now, isn't it? We're gonna let that cool just a little bit and see how thick it is, and get different ones to taste it and see how everybody feels about the salt and the pepper in it. You can see how that it's already gelled up. It just barely. So how it flakes off of that rubber scraper. That's how it's sticking. And that was one of the things that Mom always said, when it moves like that and it doesn't stick to your spatula, it means it has just the right consistency. So Pete here is an expert at it, can try it.
Getting pretty good now.
At first I thought not enough pepper, but the pepper's there. The salt is there.
Yeah.
Any of y'all want to taste it? Heather? Tim? Nathan?
I'm good. I'm third. I trust you boys. It turned out good last
Okay. That's good, isn't it? I think it's just right. Let me clean the sides a little more.
Judgment has been passed.
And so now I'm going to grab the shovel and I'm going to pull the fire. And swing that door around there. Are you okay? Let me open the door here.
Step back a little bit.
So we had to have enough wood in there to make it boil violently so that it gets hydrated. So instead of turning the gas valve off, we're just going to take the coals out of it and throw them outside. But important that Nathan there keeps stirring it, because if you don't, it will stick to the bottom, and then you will get burnt scrapple in with the good scrapple when we scoop it out. So gotta keep stirring it. Yeah, there's one more shovel, and then it's still boiling pretty good, and this thing is so hot. Kick the door, Nathan. Good enough now. We'll just cook it just a little bit longer, make sure that it is thoroughly hydrated. One of the important things about making good scrapple is make sure that it is thoroughly hydrated. I'm going to rinse my hand off. I actually had thought we was going to put the scrapple in the big one. Flip it over. I'm going to put the scrapple in that one. I'm going to put the liverwurst in this other one. So, Heather, would you stir that for a little while? And because I'd like for Nathan to grind the liverwurst.
Do not mess it up. I've got a perfect record for you.
Yeah.
Clean up around the edges a little bit here.
Hot of it.
Scoot the table out just a little bit so it don't hit that saw. And let's move it that way just a little bit. I think that's good.
As far as the skins, should I just put them in a bucket or?
Well, Holly, I think, said she wants to take them home for her dog. So,
You want to take some for Zoe? You want to get your bag together, some of them pig skins up for Zoe? Huh? No, I'm filming. She'd appreciate it.
okay, that's good. There you go, thank you. Now push it back a little bit sort of to hold it, help me hold it in place. There you go, perfect. Perfect.
The door will be closed off for a minute.
It will? Okay, well, can we do that?
I mean, momentarily we can. I'm saying during the guards.
Okay, this won't take me long. I think we're ready to take it out.
Want this thing here?
Yes. And then just as soon as we get the scrapple out, we're going to put the liverwurst back in here. You going to be ready, Nathan?
Yeah, give me just 1 second.
Okay. This will take me a little bit to scoop it out. So now then just going to start scooping it out and pouring it in this pan. And the goal is to have a layer in this pan 2 to 4 inches thick. 2.5 inches is really ideal. And then by tomorrow this will be cooled off, set up in a firm jello. Somebody called it like meatloaf a while ago. About the same kind of texture. I'm going to have to take these glasses off. I can't see for the steam. Seems very nice consistency here. Very nice. I think this is going to be some fantastic scrapple.
Don't you put that on there? That's going to be some weight right there now.
I was looking for something and I went down there in my treasure island and I came across that thing and thought, hey, that would be perfect.
Oh, you didn't have it. You didn't have to have it made. It was already.
No, it was already made. One of my big ideas from the past or something, I don't know what I had made with it. It ended up down there. I know it. Actually, you don't need the spatula. We are just going to put water on it and the rest is going to go in the liverwurst.
Okay, never mind.
Can you bring me the hose, Pete? So we can put some water in here. Will be about enough water for the liverwurst. If you'll take that rubber scraper now and sort of clean the edges up, and you won't have to stir anymore until Nathan brings the liverwurst, and then we're going to fire back up. Okay, Eddie, you and I are going to pick that thing up and put it back there on top of the bacon.
Hey, Pete, can you help us here and pull that table away when we're ready? Or we can actually move it now. There, that's probably good. I got this corner, this side.
Okay, I got this. We're good.
Which table?
Take a shot of that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Quite thin yet, just like almost like gravy, but in just a short time that will gel up and be firm, like Nathan said. Meatloaf on top of the bacon.
Oh,
They got your ham then, Nathan.
I'm sorry, Nathan.
oh, you're good. I'm looking for my stuff.
I'm starting to wonder how I'm going to get out.
We're going to go at an angle like that. It's a little off level. How can we do it? Level it up, get something,
Just some wood to put
some
underneath.
wood, and level.
Right here's the right thing. It's wedged. I don't know if that'd be quite enough.
Yeah, I believe that's good. Here, put one right here.
It's like leveling the building. That back corner needs to come
That's,
up.
okay.
We need another one. I
think it's good. I think it's good.
I can see it's not what the stuff is.
We take the rubber scraper and we'll smooth it up a little bit.
Alright.
Yeah, put it through that. Yep. See here, it'll grind right up. Well, I wanted to show you here that this is cooled off, and it's like almost like meatloaf, thick. So good. One won't do. I gotta have another. Only thing missing is a little sorghum. Whew. I'm glad that rubber scraper's hard. I'd eat that. There's a little more. I'd eat that rubber scraper. That is good.
Now you got to mix this other stuff, huh?
Next up, next is liverwurst.
Liverwurst, okay. Well, I got a question, Mark. Are there anything you eat that you don't put sorghum on?
Not much. Not much. One thing I don't like sorghum on is coffee. Sherry, my wife, loves it. She don't like honey in it. I like honey in my coffee. She likes sorghum. I don't like sorghum in my coffee because I feel it makes it too strong for me. So I don't eat sorghum in my coffee, but that's about it. Okay, so now this is all that ground up meat from all those bones and heads. We're going to put that in there, put a little extra water in it. We're going to season it the same recipe as we did the scrapple, the same amounts of salt and pepper, and stir it, bring it to a light boil, take it off the same way we just did this scrapple. Holly, could you take this rubber scraper and clean this and put it on the scrapple? We don't want to waste anything. Just put it right on top of it. And Heather, if you'll open this door, I'm going to get some of that fire back to put back in here.
Dude.
We had all kinds of problems this morning. We got it to ground water, then we got into the sausage.
You open the door, please. Coming in with fire. Putting the coals back under here and get a little heat going. And bring it back, bring that to just a light boil. We're not going to do much on that.
Bring some water over here.
What's that? Wait, is that what we're speaking
I
water?
have no idea. I don't know.
We better not be.
I already put some water in there, but it does look a little thick. We might have to put a little more in it. But liverwurst is generally a little thicker than scrapple is, so I think it's actually pretty good. We're just going to warm it up, bring it to a light boil, and pull the fire again, and we're done. I can put a little bit of this wood in here. You don't have to stir much, just every once in a while, because it's not that warm yet. Now I'm going to season that. Heather, what would you estimate's in there? There was about 3 gallons in that bucket, I think. So I'm going to use the same recipe as the scrapple, and it gets 2 tablespoons of salt per gallon and 1 tablespoon of black pepper per gallon. But we're not going to put the sage in this. Are we? I don't think so. Did we ever find any sage? Oh yeah, right there. Right there's sage. Yep, I'm going to put it in there. So 1/4, that would be about 1 tablespoon of sage.
There's your
Measuring sticks. Measuring spoon.
Yeah, used to be stairs right there. There was a buggy. That's how we got up and down from the basement to the top.
into the store, but it wasn't a store.
Ooh, that sage smells good, doesn't it?
Yep.
So what meal do you eat this with, and how do you cook it?
So this, okay, you're asking me, so I'm going to answer it. So the liverwurst, eat it for breakfast with pancakes. But it's good for a mid-meal snack. Go back to the house and warm up a pancake and put a little liverwurst on it. It's great for a good snack or light supper. But generally, we eat it for breakfast, and the same with the scrapple. Most of it is breakfast food for me. I'm not sure about all the others, but
We eat scrapple sometimes for supper.
Yeah.
But not.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't
Scrapple
eat
is good.
liverwurst, but Jacob does, and he loves it for supper too.
We're going to have to let that water heater catch up here a little bit.
So a lot of different ones, even of my children and especially the grandchildren. Liverwurst, and they saw what we just did here. Ooh, gross. I'm not eating that. And they leave it. But Jacob, the grandson, he's been with us so much. That's what I eat. If I eat it, he's going to eat it too. Grandma fixed it and put it on the table, and that's the way it's going to be.
But it just doesn't really taste good. I mean,
Well, maybe your taster is messed up.
Maybe your taste.
It
is
could
messed up.
possibly be. My taster could be warped. I don't know.
I think everything you've made, you said was delicious, so they have not
is.
found anything you didn't like so far.
He puts enough sorghum on it to sweeten it up anyway, so it's probably what.
Well, it's
why
such a good
good.
combination. It just tastes so good. All right, I've got to stop talking when I do this because I'm gonna mess up my count. So let's see, what did we decide? There are 4 gallons and 2 tablespoons, so I need 8 of these. 1. That's the reason I stood there holding that. 2. 3. I'm gonna pour this into that one because it's getting too difficult to pour. I had 3 in there, right? There's 4. Yep. 5.
I mean, you don't have to take it right this minute.
6.
Yeah, well, I was going to.
7. And there's 8.
Could possibly be 9. I'm not.
It's possible. It's possible. I may have just messed the whole thing up.
It'll still be good for y'all.
Well, you're going to help me eat it, aren't you? I mean, look how good that is. What is wrong with that?
There's many other.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to start with that. But I believe I'm going to have to put a little more water in it. Hey, can you give us a little? Go with that. Yeah, they're helping us clean it all up. Wonderful. We'll be finished here. I was worried that we weren't going to get finished with it today.
Starting to bubble just a little.
I think it just gets better all the time.
You want to use that table for setting the liverwurst on?
No, I was going to use this chair, but.
No, but I mean for cooling, to let it sit on there.
Oh, there's room back there, isn't there? We can put it back there. Yeah, I think it's got enough salt. Eddie, you want to taste this? I can't get my children to taste it, so yeah, it's starting to bubble a
Well,
little
we've
bit.
eaten it before. That's how we know we don't like it.
It's just in your head. It's just in your head. It's good. The thing about it is there's very little liver in it. It's just the gelatin from the bones cooked and yeah. Little bit of a liver taste, very little. Fantastic.
Did Grandma like liverwurst?
Yeah.
She did?
In her growing up years, I don't think there was a choice. You ate it and learned to like it.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't grow up like we had plenty of everything.
Had plenty of everything, and that's with today's world. Plenty of everything. There's so much food wasted in the world today. It's sad. It's sickening. And you know, ooh, this kind of thing is, you know, it's not necessary. You don't like it. You know, you don't want it. Pile their plates big and round full. And they pick around at this, pick around at that, and throw most of it in the trash. The good Lord's going to punish people for that someday, to waste food like that. That's the way I see it.
We were taught not to waste, that's for sure.
Yep, and so were we. Here, let me get out of your way so you can put it to it. I think we're finished with all this. I'm going to let Holly take care of all the rest of this. She can put it up, put it back. Imagine this is the end of the hog killing for 2020, for the spring of 2023.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. But if somebody's hungry, we'll do it again. Well, looks like our fish journey completed. Just about completed.
What happened? Oh, I set it down over there. A little soap in there. Rub it out.
Well, my question is, Heather, have you all learned enough here from this couple of days from me that if I outgrow this, I outage this, that you can do it?
I hope so.
I was very doubtful about it too while my parents were living, but once they're gone, it's over. It's time to man up and do it, or it's not going to be done. Yep. But it is something how, even though when your parents are living well, you think you know most of it, but as long as they're around, you're somewhat dependent on them to pull through with it,
Well, to tell us exactly
and tell us exactly what to do. Yep.
It's quite a long process. There's a lot of steps.
It is. It's 2 days worth of it here, but hey, all the help that we had here, we could have done 4 hogs just this quick. With all the manpower we had, maybe a little bit limited for room and table space, it would have been tight, but we'd have improvised some other stuff, and we could have done 4 in the same amount of time. Now 8 or 10 of them, that takes a couple extra days. There is one other thing I just remembered, Eddie. Would you check those pork chops again?
Oh! Yeah, they're going to be ready.
Hey John, we had a customer in the store and he's from Arkansas, but he said, are y'all filming for the Appalachian channel?
Yeah.
So he wanted to come in and say hi.
Well, hello, what's your name?
Hello, Tim Mackey
Tim?
from Damascus, Arkansas.
Hello, how are you?
So you're filming right now?
Yes.
You're
We've
on,
been-
you're on film.
I was over in Madisonville. There's a Bruderhof community over there, and I was visiting some friends over there. Thought I'd swing back this way.
Okay.
They're Hutterite type people.
Where near Tellico Plains?
Well, it's close to there. Hiawassee College. It's a Methodist college. They bought it,
Okay.
so they've got.
It's not. It wouldn't be the Rhodes family.
No, it's a bunch of different families from
Okay.
New York and Pennsylvania.
Mennonite background or no?
It's like Hutterites.
Oh, like Hutterites. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they live in community.
Okay. Okay.
I gotta run to the bank.
Well,
So yeah, this is going to all be on film eventually here in a day or two. Some of it, it's going to be several videos because it's a 2-day process.
yeah. Okay, I'll keep
So
watching.
they
So,
butchered a hog and they're finishing up right now with the last little bit.
We're
enjoy.
doing the last dish here, making liverwurst.
Okay.
You ever had liverwurst?
I go to Mennonite Church in Arkansas, and there's some ex-Amish there, and they, scrapple and all that stuff,
Okay.
but not liverwurst. No.
Okay. Well, you don't want to leave without tasting some liverwurst.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can finger on that side, and I'll
Okay.
finger on this side.
Oh yeah.
That's you could eat that, couldn't you?
I could.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Well, I got here some sorghum, so I'm gonna head back to Arkansas with it.
Some sorghum and pancakes. This
Yeah.
would be just absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Thanks for visiting.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Look for the video. This one might be the 3 or 4 down the line because it's the last process of it. So
Okay.
there'll be 2, 3, maybe 4 videos.
Okay, good deal.
Good to meet you.
Better go to the store.
You're doing good, Alex. I'm gonna let you keep doing it. Is Nathan still around, or can you? Huh? Could you and him cut these pork chops?
We're gonna cut them by hand, Mark?
No, right here. Right here with this by hand.
Well, you know, you cut them with a knife first, then all you've got left is those things. You can just chop them or you cut them.
Okay. Well, I guess could do that, but did you not help with this last time?
No, I don't.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Where's Pete at? He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Pete knows what he's doing. But I can do it too.
That first one, is it just kind of a roast?
I'm
This first
no,
piece out here?
right in that hole right there. Generally, try to cook them 1/2 to 5/8 inch thick.
Yeah. That's the way Holly likes them too.
Okay? Can you carry on?
Yeah, I try.
Yep, fire's basically out. Good time to take it out. That rubber scraper and sort of clean the edges a little bit. You probably don't have to stir anymore. There's really no heat in it. Let me get rid of that thing for you. Completely dry it out, and then the warmth that's still in the kettle will dry the kettle, and it will help it to keep it from rusting. Of course, it will rust a little bit till the next time, but not bad. Wipe it out, it'll be pretty clean. Can you take that rubber scraper and rub around a little bit? Here, let me hold this right in there where it's still a little stuck. I was looking for a Danny Does It, but I don't see one.
I'm tired.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how Grandma did this stuff every day, all day. Plus, she had her business and children to raise, and she was, I don't know how she did it.
Well, hello here again. So glad that we've got yesterday and today behind us. We've had a wonderful time harvesting this pig and making all the different dishes, and hope everyone will enjoy watching of the work that we've done and the way that we learn to preserve and feed ourselves. Thank you all very much.
Bye.
Bye.